following guided reading lesson features struggling readers leaving first grade and getting ready for second grade. It's about 20 minutes long and could easily be broken into two 10-minute sections. The first section focuses on reading comprehension. The second section focuses on applying phonics skills as part of reading accuracy.
Have you ever heard the story of the lion and the mouse before?
I did.
You have?
I did.
Awesome. Well, then that's going to help us today when we look at our story. I have a really special word in this story that I wanted to share with you. It's a tricky word. I'm going to write it down. I'm going to see if you can figure out what this word might be. That's a funny looking word, isn't it? Uh-huh. Have you ever seen this word before?
Saw. Yeah.
Saw. Uh-huh. So what sound does this make? Ah. Uh-huh. Ooh, do you notice anything about this word? It's got an ah in it too. And I'm going to tell you something really funny. In this word, we don't hear the G. It's silent. So what does this sound?
No.
Nah. What's a nah?
I know.
What do you think a nah is?
I think it means yes.
Well, that's a good guess. A nah is...
Oh.
Can you do that? Nah means to bite, to keep biting. Bite, bite, bite with your teeth. Can you do that with me? Nah. Say it. Nah. That's what nah is, and we're going to see the word nah in this story. This story's got something that happens in it, but I bet you might already know what that is. There's a problem. So when you read to the part that's a problem, then we need to find out what the solution is. So I wanted to show one picture to you from this story. Do you see this picture? Who's in this picture?
The lion.
There's a lion in this picture. What happened to the lion?
He got trapped.
He's in a trap. Did he want to do that trap on his own? No.
An animal did it?
Somebody tried to catch him, didn't they? So somebody tried to catch him in a net, or sometimes we call it a trap.
Trap. Yeah.
There's a trap. So today, I'm going to ask you to read this story, and I'm going to ask you, as you're reading the story, to think about what is the problem and what's the solution. And when you get to that word "nah," are you going to know are you going to know what it says? Are you? Probably. So when you read it today, this is what I want you to do. I want you to read in this voice. Can you hear me? Just barely though, right? That's what I want you to do. I want you to whisper. And while you're reading the book, I don't want you to listen. I don't want Luz to listen to Geraldo, or Geraldo to listen to Luz, or Cindy to listen to anyone. I want you to read it by yourself, the best that you're able to. And I'm going to come around, and when I come around, I want you to whisper so I can hear you read. And I want you to use everything you know about reading to figure out this book. Okay, are you ready? It's called The Lion and the Mouse. Can you read that with me? The Lion and the Mouse. Now I want you to read. Whisper quiet. Turn the page and get started.
The introduction is not a book walk. Too often, a book walk does the work that students can and need to do within the text. Instead of a book walk, I previewed the story by sharing the gist. Then I turned to a page in the book that demonstrated the structure of the text, as well as allowed me to cover 2 words from the text. The words that I chose were necessary in order for students to understand the lesson from the story. As the students whisper read, I take turns listening to them read. I look for the application of strategies already taught, as well as individual and group needs for reading instruction.
Can you read a little bit louder, Ronald, so I can see you? So what do you know about the sounds of that word? Good job. Awesome job. I love how you used all the things you know to figure out that tricky word. Good job. Can I hear you? Think about that again. Is that growl? Okay, think about, remember we looked. You got it. Good job. Good job. Can you read this page for me? Good job. I love how you're thinking. Read it again. Can you go back and read a little more? Awesome. I noticed that all of you have read the book at least once. And what I also noticed you doing is I noticed that you are using everything you know about words and everything that you know about books to help you read. I noticed a tricky page. Can you open your page to page 20.
I'm already.
You're already there. Can you find 20? There was a really tricky word on this page. Do you remember what tricky word it was?
No.
I noticed that, and I saw when you got to na, do you know what I saw you do? I saw you stop, and you thought about everything that we learned. You thought about it, and then you figured it out. I noticed one of the things that had to happen too was you had to really slow down and think about it, didn't you? That's what good readers do. They stop and they think about the words that they know. When I asked you to read today, I asked you to think about what was the problem and what was the solution. So do you have an idea in your head about what that problem was? You do. What do you think the problem was, Geraldo?
The lion got trapped.
The lion got trapped. I agree. That was a problem. But how did they solve that problem? How did they solve it?
The monk went to Na.
What does gnaw mean again?
Chew.
Oh, it's like they chewed it? Uh-huh. So, but now here's the part I want you to think about. And I don't want you to give me an answer right away. I want you to think for just a minute. What lesson did the lion learn? What lesson did the mouse learn? What could have been the lesson? So I want you to just to think for a minute what that lesson could be. When you think you know what the lesson might be, can you put your thumb up like that? Think you know what a lesson could be? What could they have learned from that? Have some ideas, Geraldo, of something they could have learned? Keep thinking. Luz, what do you think they might have learned?
Small friends can do big things.
Small friends can do big things. That's one thing they could have learned. What's something else do you think? Did you have a different idea, Cindy?
I was thinking when you think something that a little person can't do, they really can do it.
Sometimes little people can do things even when you don't expect them to. Geraldo, did you think one of those ideas might be a good one to think about? Which one did you like? Okay, well, which was? Tell him again what your idea was.
When big people think that little people can't do stuff, but they really can.
Sometimes they can. So can you say, little people can sometimes do big things? Can you say that?
What?
Say, little people can sometimes do big things.
So little people can do big things?
You're right. So that's a big idea. That's a lesson that we can learn from this. And you know what? That tells me there's lots of things that you can do. You might not even believe you can do, but there's lots of things you can do. So I'm going to give you a really hard thing to do right now. Oh yeah, a hard thing that I think you can do. Can you close your book? And I'll take your book. Now I'm going to have you do this really tricky work. This tricky work is, I want you to find, remember we talked about that word gnaw? What was at the end of gnaw again? A-W. I want you to look on this list, and I want you to look at the black box across the top, and I want you to see if you can see the part that says ah. Put your finger on it if you can find it. Put your finger, not on you. Awesome, love how you did that. Wait a minute, there's lots of words on here that I know. Oh, the one that's right below it. What is right below that? What was that first word on there that's bold? Saw. I bet you there are some words on here that you can read. I want you to look at those and see if you can find some words on there that you can read.
Tall.
Okay, what I want you to do is I want you to put a dot right next to a word that you think you can read. Put dots next to the words that you think you can read.
So easy.
During the comprehension portion of the lesson, I had students look for the problems and solution in order to determine the story's lesson. I was not sure of how familiar students were with the story. I wanted to make sure that they were able to use the problem and solution to determine the lesson. It was very successful. In fact, I was surprised by how efficiently and effectively students were able to apply the comprehension strategy. The next step is to find a text that is not familiar and to try to apply the same strategy. During the accuracy component of the lesson, I selected a diphthong that I knew students had studied during the latter part of the year. I used the Jan Richardson analogy chart to help students connect what they knew to different words. Students were encouraged to decode as well as encode. The encoding process is important in cementing student learning of vowel patterns.
Giraffe,
Awesome.
lawn,
Beautiful. Very nice. All right, Geraldo, what are your favorite three?
draw,
Uh-huh.
draw,
Uh-huh. Which one is that one? Say it again.
draw.
Raw. Awesome. Now, can you say your favorite three?
Ball, ball, and yaw,
And what?
and draw. Sandpaper.
Okay, I want one that you, from right down here, tell me which one of these. Did you say this one? What is that word?
Yawn.
Oh, what is a yawn?
It's a
Can you show me how to yawn?
yaw.
Awesome. You got it. That's great. All right, but now I want you to do the same thing. I want you to use that same skill that we just talked about. Can you wipe off your, you can wipe off your list? You wiped it off with your hand. You want to wipe it off with that? Gracious golly molly, you wiped it off with your hand. Now I'm going to give you another job. Are you ready? You're going to take the same list. One more job. And you can choose this side or this side that you write on. You get to decide.
Can we have them?
No, you can't take them with you. Decide which side you want to write on and put it down, and then you got to have your pens back. Okay, I'm going to take these lists because I'm going to see if what you remember. Are you ready? 1, 2, 3. Awesome. I'm glad you got it. Now I'm going to take a word off this list and see if you can write it. Are you ready? I want you to write the word paw. My dog has a paw. If you wrote P-A-W, you got it right. Give yourself a thumb up.
Yes.
Awesome. Okay, I got another one for you. This one's going to be harder. Are you ready? The next one is harder. The next one is lawn.
Oh my God.
The grass is growing on the lawn.
No.
Write the word, Cindy. Okay, let's talk about what letters do we have to have first. L, A, A-W, and what goes at the end? And. Got to think about all those letters and go really slowly. Don't erase, you're fine. Now, I've got one more for you. This is going to be harder. Are you ready? This is going to be a hard one. We're going to take Cindy's word, yawn.
Yay.
Yawn. Yawn. Yeah.
Oh. Huh? Why?
How did you spell it?
Why?
Say it with me.
Y. A.
W. And very good. Well, you know, good readers use what they know about words and what you know about saw and the ah sound in saw, helped you read and write lots of other words. So when you're reading, you can think about all the things that you know, and that'll help you read and write. You all did a great job today. Can you give yourself a thumbs up? Double thumbs up. Perfect. Can you put your caps on your pen? And honey, don't wipe it off with your hand. Wipe it off with a felt marker. It's okay. Can you hand her the felt? Awesome. Great job.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Good work. Good work. That's all. That's what we're done.
In all guided reading lessons, there are decisions. And there's not just one right decision. We'll see these students again so we can always adjust what we do. As you view this lesson, notice things that you might have done differently. Think about what should be the next steps.